Hey, I'm just making this video because it's a subject too that I feel that is not really talked about a lot, and I think this could bring you some insight on what to look for. I'm targeting more people that are starting and that don't have a massive budget to buy a proper bench. On Rio, I haven't checked the price lately. I guess it's around like what, $200-300 bucks. So this for a proper bench is actually not a lot, but not everybody can spend 300 on a bench, especially if it's just a hobby for you. So what I can suggest, there are multiple things. I've got this on the website, the retailer I work with. I've got a price and it was on sale when I bought it, so I got a good price. And I think it's made in the UK, so it's a good start if you want to invest in something that's quite durable, because I've had it for over a year now and I'm pretty happy with this. But if you really don't have a big budget, what you can do is just take a wooden planche, do you say that? That is about 4 centimeters thick, which would be what, 2 inches perhaps, something like this. Try to take something quite sturdy and thick because it will last longer. And what you can do is take this over there, I don't know how you call them. It's wooden, and you can actually choose the height of it. So take something quite sturdy, but you can use this and put a wooden planche on top of it, and then add a bench pin that you can screw on the table, so that you don't really have to invest as much, and it'll be quite easy to use, and it will save you a lot of money. If you want to get into something actually custom made, and you're a bit like, you know how to work with tools, and you have somebody that can do it for you, what you need to think of when you're thinking jewelry bench is that you will notice that on most real proper jewelers benches, you have tons of drawers on both sides of the thing, because in jewelry you have a lot of small things and you need to put them somewhere, so you need to stock all your materials and tools. So that's why having drawers is really handy, and most of the basic entry-level jewelers benches have those things included, at least one side full of drawers. If you don't, the big mistake that that I've made when I thought of it at the beginning, and I was working with the planche and the wooden thing, like I'm telling you, that I've put higher, because this is about 90 centimeters high. So the reason why the jewelers benches are higher than the usual traditional desks are because you actually need the bench pin to be right at the height of your solar plexus, around your chest, around here roughly. And you will notice that on most benches you have drawers. You at least have 2 drawers. So you have one at the bottom that will be able, when you set rings and stuff, to be able to have all the small dust of metal that come here that you can collect. Like here I have a small plateau. I don't know how you say plateau. So you have this kind of plate, and you also usually have a second one that is full of pliers or of your the files or things that you use a lot, and that has to be quite accessible, because here's the thing with jewelry making: everything has to be really at hand, like literally, because you will lose time if things is too far away. So one of the mistake that, if you could avoid it, that's great if you want to make your bench, is think not too wide, because if it's too wide and you have to include the length of your bench pin, and you take something that's really wide and you think that's great because I'm going to be able to stack lots of things, the thing is you'll never be able to reach them with ease, because you'll have your bench pin always on the way. So don't think really wide, but think more on larger, on the horizontal, don't think square, think rectangle if you want to make your own bench, so that you have a lot of length but not of width, because the width is not really important, and the wider it is, the harder you'll have to get your stuff. It's super annoying. That's why most of the benches have everything on the bottom. So I personally went to my hardware store and I just found this tray, that's how you say, this wooden tray. Of course I've I saw the wood here, so that it was easier for me to use, but I saw this thing and just hit me, was like all alone in an alley, and I was like, wow, this could be useful. So I bought it, And it's great because I can move it. On the bottom I've also put a wooden planche so that I can hold all this without having to worry of it. And here I know I have the perfect size. I have my thing to be able to sew. I have all my tools. Pliers, I'm going to add more pliers here. That's why there's a hole that will be filled quite soon. And everything has to be accessible, and especially the pliers. The pliers are one of the tools you use the most, so try to have them handy. If you can put your files here on the bottom somewhere, it's even better. But the point of this being, I wanted to show you this to explain to you that that's why the drawers are super useful, and you got to take this in consideration if you want to make your own bench. The other thing that has to be taken in consideration, this has to do more with the position of your body and of your back. Luckily for me, this is the standard size for the bench, which is 90 centimeters high, and I'm 1 meter and 70 centimeters high in size. So I'm sorry, I don't know about inches, blah 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 blah. So it's centimètres, huh? It makes me think all the time of Pulp Fiction at the beginning, like the royal with cheese, because yeah. Anyway, hold on, I'm losing myself. So centimeters. So I don't know if that what 1 meter and 72 centimeters is in inches. Anyway, in feet. But this being said, this is the standard size, and I'm lucky because I have the size that actually makes it a perfect match for me to be well adjusted with my back and the way I'm sitting down. Because remember, jello is where you're sitting down all the time, and if you're not in the proper condition, you don't have the right kind of chair, and you don't have also the right lighting. Don't pay attention to this shit. I'm looking for a lamp right now, like an architect lamp, that will have a really good lighting, because you need to have super good lighting when you're working with jewelry, especially if you're setting, if you're a jeweler, like you want to specialize in setting. The thing is, what I wanted to say about choosing the right height if you're making your own custom bench, if you're really tall or quite small in size, it would be better to make your own bench, because the problem is that it's really important that, I don't know if you can see, do you see my legs? This is making a kind of 90-degree angle, which means that my back is also aligned and is also well set, and I'm in a comfortable position, and it's actually the right height. If my heels were, if I had to be on my toes to be on my bench, this would mean that the bench would be way too high for me. So there you can see my feet are on the ground, touching the ground, my knee is making a 90-degree angle, and my back is quite straight. And so if you're not having your feet on the ground and you don't have this 90-degree angle, it means that the bench size for you, the bench height, is no bueno, not good for you. So you need to pay attention to this, because on the long run it's going to really impact your health and your back if you don't have something that's really the right size for you. So you need to be really understanding and really find a way to put something under your feet if you have to level up and you can't really afford, or you have your bench already, you know. And if you're tall, it has to be, you have to find a way to make the jeweler bench higher. So this was just a little tip, but nobody talks about it, and actually I feel it's crucial to be able to be well installed, to be able to work properly. So that's why I just wanted to share that with you, and I'll see you around for another video soon. I don't know why it's blurry, but it's blurry. So I'm gonna stop there. See you. Bye bye.